Hello everyone, welcome to CEC online lectures. This is Dr. Rupur Agarwal from Shahid Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi. I'll be discussing with you all today on the types of compensation. In the previous lectures of mine, I have told you about the concept of compensation, the objective of compensation, and I have also discussed about the philosophies of compensation. So we have a detailed discussion on those topics. I'll be talking on today the types of compensation, in which I'll be telling you about the various type on the basis of base and supplementary compensation, the variable compensation, also about the direct and indirect, if we divide if we take or categorize compensation on the basis of direct and indirect compensation. Then also I'll be telling you the meaning of what is intrinsic and extrinsic rewards. Basically, it's also one of the type of compensation. What is a financial, non-financial, and performance versus membership-based rewards. At the end, I'll be dealing with or defining with few typical compensation components meaning, and also telling you about the elements of total reward system, along with the few types of allowances. So let us start with the type of compensation. And as we know that compensation is a wide range of financial and non-financial rewards to employees for their services rendered to the organization. It is paid in form of wages, salary, other benefits such as vacations, maternity leave, medical facilities, etc. We have already discussed that compensation helps in motivating the employees and reduce labor turnover. And monetary payments have a great impact in motivating employees. So hence, it's very important that the system of compensation should be designed so as to attract employees towards the organization. And also, the employees get motivated for better performances. The employees do not leave the employer frequently. So these are basically the objective of compensation. And it is said that a well-designed compensation is able to handle its human resource tactfully in some or the other ways. Now, discussing on what are the components of a compensation. According to Thomas J. Bergman, he has divided compensation into four parts, or he has taken or considered four components of a compensation. One is wage or salary. Second is employee benefits. Third is non-recurring financial rewards. And the last one is non-pecuniary rewards. So, compensation is a sum total of wage or salary plus employees' benefits, non-recurring financial rewards, which is basically compensation based on performance, which is not recurring in nature. It is paid to the employees linked with his performance. So this is a kind of a variable pay, we can say. Then plus non-pecuniary rewards, which is non-monetary in its nature. So non-pecuniary rewards are also known as intrinsic reward, and employees' benefits, which is also known as supplementary compensation, and wage and salary. So if we take the Thomas Bergman components of compensation, so we can say that compensation has been divided into these four parts. Now, when we talk about the compensation, broadly we speak that compensation is divided into two components. One is base compensation and the second is supplementary compensation. So what is a base compensation? Let us start with the very meaning of base compensation. So base compensation involves monetary benefits in the form of wages and salaries. The term wage is used to denote remuneration to workers who are paid on basis of hours worked or on the basis of their productivity. And the term salary is used usually defined to mean compensation to office employees, foremen, managers and professional and technical staff. Base compensation also involves monetary benefits to the employees in the form of wage and salaries. So it is giving the remuneration to the workers for doing the work, Wages are generally given to the workers based on hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly basis, as I told you, as I said. So, but salary is a compensation given to the office employees, and wage may be based on the number of unit produced, whereas salary is always based on the time spent on the job. In other words, what we can say that base pay is the initial salary paid to an employee, not including any kind of benefit or the bonus, if any bonus raises. So it is the rate of compensation an employee receives in exchange for the services he rendered. So and then with what we can say is that an employee base pay can be expressed as an hourly rate or weekly, monthly, or annual salary. So now what comes into the supplementary compensation? So if we go to the meaning of supplementary compensation, so these are the payments paid to employees in addition to the normal pay, in addition to the base pay, like for the overtime or the bonus or the commission and other benefits which they are given by the employee time to time. So supplementary compensation also includes fringe benefits offered through several employee services and benefits such as housing, if you must have heard of, subsidized food, medical aids, creches, etc. And as we know that supplementary pay are now become an essential part of compensation mix, and it's very much helpful in retaining the employees on a long-term basis. Rather, nowadays, the organization use supplementary compensation over and above the base compensation because it helps employees or it helps in satisfying employee as well as retaining them for longer time. So it can be given in form of various services, as I earlier discussed, that like housing or the medical facility the employees are given, or the education facilities they are given. So it's more or less what we can say that fringe benefit or a supplementary compensation. Sometimes we use this term interchangeably as well. But yes, in supplementary compensation, fringe benefit also comes, and it's also a part of supplementary pay. So this is the meaning of base pay and the supplementary pay, where the base pay is the initial salary paid to an employee and the supplementary payment paid to employee in addition to their normal pay. Okay. So now there may be various categories. If we more clarify what is a supplementary compensation. So various category, or it can be again divided into various types on the basis of what the supplementary pays are being given to the employees. Like number one is protection against hazard. So supplementary compensation helps in protecting against the hazard like illness of the employee or the injury if employee suffered, or at the time of the employee's death or any permanent disability. So at such instances or in such circumstances when we are giving additional benefit to our employees, so that supplementary pay is basically to protect employees against the hazard. Now if we talk about the employee services in this supplementary pay, so basically it's some big organization, they provide it like housing facility or a low cost loan or some food facility to the employee, or some medical facility or a daycare for their children, education facilities. So these are the benefits given to the employees. That is also a part of supplementary. That is also one of the category of giving supplementary pay to the employees. Now for the time for which the employees are not working but still they are being paid, that is also a type of supplementary pay. So the employees paid for not working, like the wash up time, you can say, the lunch period, and some vacations like casual vacation, or if you are taking casual leaves they are taking, or some sick leaves they are taking, or some other holidays which is paid and they are being given by the employees. So these are the payment made to the employees in which they are not working. So that's also one of the type of the supplementary pay. There are some legal payments also in this category or in this type of pay, like for the layoff compensation, as we say, or the old age benefits we are giving. So these are legal payment, like that is a must, or there is a rule, there is an enactment that the employer has to pay on these occasions when the employee is being laid off. Such payments are being made to the employees, or at the time of old age, or the retirement benefit if the employees are getting. So these are the legal payments, which is also one of the category of supplementary pay. So thus there are various kind of supplementary compensation which are given to the employees. If we again take few example of supplementary pay, like leave policy. It's the right of employee to get adequate number of leave while working with the organization. So organization provides for paid leave such as casual leave, medical leave, or the maternity leave. So this is known as the leave policy or the leave pay. So these pay they are getting in the name of supplementary pay. The overtime policy. So for the overtime, the employee should be provided with the adequate allowances and facilities during their overtime. So in terms of overtime pay or transport facilities, so this is also a supplementary pay example. Hospitalization is again one of the example of supplementary pay, like for the regular checkups, the employees, if they are given any benefit, or the medical facilities they are getting. So this is also one of the example of supplementary pay. And I also talked about the retirement benefit, or the holidays, leave travel concessions, or the benefits they are getting in the organization. These all are the example of supplementary pay. So these are the basically these are the two components which we generally say that these are the main components of a compensation, the base and the supplementary compensation. If we see the difference between base and supplementary compensation, you can see on this chart that payment, this base pay is a payment to the worker for their work, whereas supplementary pay denotes benefit over and above the wage and salary. So that basic wage and salaries, over and above that basic wage and salaries the employees are getting. So that comes under supplementary pay. In base pay, the payment is made in cash, whereas in supplementary, the payment can be cash or in non-cash, both cash and kinds both. Wages and salaries are paid to compensate for their services, where the supplementary pay are basically paid to the employees to increase their efficiency and to retain them. The basic purpose of the supplementary pay is basically to retain them and to increase the employees' efficiency. Now, the base pay determined by job evaluation, demand and supply of labor, organization capacity to pay, bargaining power of trade union, and so on. Whereas the determination of supplementary pay by the history of the organization, it depends on the philosophy of the organization, the capacity of the organization, and their main objective of the organization, that and the need to retain the talent of employees, or need to retain the talented employees in the organization, and so on. So the basic idea behind this base and supplementary pay is very different. So, and the objective behind the base and supplementary pay are different. Now, the second type of this, after discussing this base and supplementary, we should also know about what is a variable compensation and benefits. What is a variable pay? It's also known as incentive pay, refers to pay earned beyond an employee's normal weekly, monthly, or annual salary. It's not a guarantee. It is paid out only if an individual or a team achieves a goal. So it is variable, non-recurring in nature. And this variable pay is also known as employees' compensation, that changes as compared to salary, which is paid in equal proportion throughout the year. So it depends on the performance of the employee, or the target given, or the goal given to the employees. If they achieve that, they are given this variable pay. So basically, the variable pay purpose is to use generally to recognize and reward employees' contribution towards company's productivity, profitability, teamwork, safety, quality, or some other metrics deemed important. So So the employee is who is awarded variable compensation has gone above and beyond his or her job description to contribute to organization success. It is also said that variable pay is awarded in a variety of formats, including profit sharing or the bonus or the holiday bonus or deferred compensation, cash and goods and services, etc. So many high achievers, I would like to state here, that eager to be a part of a dynamic work environment and view variable pay as an important factor when choosing an employer. So however, variable pay cannot be or cannot fix poor management or employers' problems related to mistrust or low morale. As such, the greater the flexibility and variety of the benefit programs, the more likely all of your employees are to feel appreciated. And this type of compensation, this variable compensation, as by its name is variable, it means that one gets compensation as per the work done. So it is basically related to the performance. And if one does a remarkable job, then he or she deserves a higher compensation package than one whose work is of poor quality. So that's the simple meaning of variable pay. Now I'll be talking about the various elements of total compensation. Now once we have went through the very components of compensation, that what is the base pay or the supplementary or the variable pay. If we just take the compensation mix, or what are the various elements of a compensation in nutshell. So elements of compensation includes number one, monthly wage and salary or type total pay including wage, house rent allowance, dearness allowance and city compensatory allowance. Bonus at the end of the year. Economic benefits such as paid holiday, leave, travel concessions. Contribution toward insurance premium. Contribution towards retirement benefits such as employee provident fund, etc. Transport and medical facilities, and allowances like DA, HRA, CCA, city compensatory allowance, transport allowance, some incentive or a performance-based pay, or some fringe benefit or a perquisites. So these are all the part of a total compensation, generally what we see in the salary head of an employee in India. So these are the types or the elements of a total compensation. Now if we discuss few of the elements of compensation and we take the meaning of few compensation elements one by one in that series, we should know about what is salary. So salary is the amount paid for a job over a specific period. As we know, the salary can be expressed per hour, per pay period, or per year as it's fixed over a particular time period. We often heard of stock option. So what is that? Stock option allow employees to purchase the firm's stock at a specific price. Consider employee who have been given a stock option to buy, suppose 100 share of stock at a price of rupees 20 per share. So many firms provide stock option to their higher level managers such as CEO, vice presidents and other managers. So some firms, however, such as for example Starbucks and Microsoft, provide stock option to all their employees. Rather, it's not only limited to the CEO or the vice presidents. And this kind of pay is actually very motivating for employees to perform better. So this is also one of the element of compensation, stock option. And next is commission. So what's the meaning of commission? So commission is normally represents compensation for meeting specific sale objectives. For example, salespeople at many firms receive a base salary plus a percentage of their total sales volume as monetary compensation. So commission are not used for job where employees' performance cannot be as easily measured. So commission is basically depends on the target of given to the employees. So that is target based. So commission is also very popular element or of compensation mix. Bonus, as we know, that bonus yearly when given to the employees. What is this? So a bonus is basically an extra one-time payment at the end of a period in which performance was measured. And bonus are usually paid less frequently than commission because it usually being paid yearly. So a bonus may be paid for efforts to increase revenue, reduce expenses, or improve customers' satisfaction. In most cases, the bonus is not set by a formula. The supervisor have some flexibility in determining the bonus for each employee, and the total amount of bonus funds that are available for employees may be dependent on the firm's profit for the year of concern basically. Profit sharing is also one of the important compensation part and very popular supplementary pay we have heard of. So what is profit sharing in a nutshell? Some firms, they offer profit sharing in which a portion of the firm's profit is paid to the employees. And this is well known for employees' motivation to perform in a manner that improves profitability. So it's being linked that it's a kind of a participative management for the employees. So in that case, it's being known that if the firm or the companies, they're offering profit sharing to their employees, that motivates a lot their employees to perform and to also, in a manner to improve the profitability of the company. Now, a few of the employee benefits which we have discussed, what's the employees' benefits they are receiving, what's its meaning. Basically, employees receive employees' benefits which are additional privilege beyond compensation payment, such as paid vacation, health, life, or a dental insurance, you can say, or any pension program. So typically, these employees' benefits are not taxed, or what we can say basically in this category we take fringe benefits. So fringe benefits given to employees are not taxed, and many firms provide substantial employees benefits to their employees. So and the last important element is perquisite. So we should know about that. What are perquisites? So perquisites are also known as perks, and some firm offers perquisite to high level employees, and these are additional privilege beyond compensation payments and employees benefits. Common perquisites include free parking, or a company car, or a club membership, or telephone credit cards, and an expense account, and so on. If we take few allowances now, that what is HRA, DA, or the city compensatory allowance. The very meaning of HRA is basically it's given by the employer to the employee to meet the expenses in connection with the rent of accommodation which the employee might have to take. What is a DA? As we know, it's paid to employee to compensate them at least partially against the phenomenon of rising prices. DA is decided as per an agreed formula taking into account the increase in the cost of living, whereas CCA is paid to employees to compensate them partly for higher cost of living in cities. Conveyance allowance is an allowance granted to employees to meet expenditure incurred on conveyance and performance of duties of job. There are other allowances also like children education allowance, underground allowance, and some other miscellaneous allowances. So these are few allowances and few terms which I have explained to you, which are the elements of a total compensation mix. At the end, if we take compensation category on the basis of direct compensation and indirect compensation. So in direct compensation, there are again, what comes under direct compensation, the base pay and the variable pay. And in indirect, what comes in indirect compensation, all the other benefits given to an employee comes under indirect compensation. So basically this is base pay and supplementary only, but if we can also say that base pay are basically the direct compensation and supplementary pay are basically the indirect compensation. But with the meaning, there are a few changes in the components of a direct and indirect compensation, which you can see in the chart given on the screen. That what comes under direct, basically the wage and salary, bonus, incentives, and stock option. What comes under indirect, all the benefits given to an employee like medical, paid time off, retirement pensions, workers' compensation, and other kind of benefits. So that comes under indirect compensation. And now coming to the last compensation type, if we take compensation, categorize compensation in intrinsic versus extrinsic, or financial versus non-financial rewards. So this intrinsic work versus extrinsic reward, what does it mean? So compensation or organizational reward includes anything an employee values and desires and an employer is able and willing to offer in exchange for employees' contribution, that we know. So according to Decenzo and Robbins, the most typical type of rewards are intrinsic and extrinsic reward, or financial and non-financial, and performance versus membership based reward. So Decenzo has defined compensation in these types, into which intrinsic and extrinsic reward means this intrinsic means that these are the rewards which is related to the personal satisfaction of the employees, and these are self-initiated rewards such as pride in one works, or a sense of accomplishment, or enjoyment of being in a team. So these are basically the types of intrinsic reward. This is not financial in nature. This is based on the inner satisfaction of the employees, and one of the example is job enrichment, also of intrinsic reward type. Extrinsic, whereas being provided by the employees in terms of money or the promotion or all the cash and non-cash item, the benefits which the employee receive, it's a type of extrinsic reward. Whereas financial, non-financial, it's very clear from its terms itself. Financial means all kind of monetary rewards which the employees are receiving are the financial rewards, whereas non-financial are rewards which do not directly increase the employee's financial position but add attraction to the job. So it in kinds what the employees are getting, like office furniture or the parking space or some other benefits the employees are enjoying. So these are the non-financial rewards being received by the or being given or offered by the employer to their employees. And at the end, what we say that what is performance-based versus membership-based reward. Performance-based reward are commission, piecework pay plan, incentive system, group bonuses, merit pay, which are based on performance. So this is directly linked with the performance. So in a way we can say this is a kind of a variable pay, but Decenzo has defined it as performance-based versus membership-based reward. So performances basically depend on the performance of the employees. The membership-based rewards are based on the section where one works or the seniority and the credentials or the specialized skills. These are being counted in giving the reward to the employees. So it's based on your experience, your seniority. So this is membership-based reward. So though money is obviously a very powerful tool to capture the employees' interest and maximize their productivity, but there are role of non-financial reward also which we cannot ignore. So it is equally strong. So and important that how you decide your compensation mix. So it should be mix of both financial, non-financial, and one can opt for performance-based or the membership-based or various kind of a reward according to its compensation system, according to its needs and the type of job. So at the end, what we can say is that compensation comes in 3 different types, that are base, variable, and supplementary. Nowadays, organization use supplementary compensation over and above the base compensation, and it helps satisfying employees as well as retaining them for a long time. So the basic purpose of these benefits is to maintain efficient human resource in the organization and to motivate employees. So I hope you have got clarity on the various types of compensation, the base, variable, and the supplementary, and the other forms of compensation also, when we uh, divide or categorize compensation on the basis of the direct payment or the indirect payment, or intrinsic versus extrinsic, financial, non-financial, performance, or membership based rewards. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.